Okay, so I'm a previous Google Nest doorbell user, and I thought it was an awesome product. However, I got tired of paying that $6 a month just to have video recording. Of course, Google gives you a lot of other features for that $6 a month, such as package detection, package pickup, person detection. All of that is great. Even the 30-day recording if you have the original Google Nest doorbell. I don't like paying subscription fees. I have way too much subscriptions going on right now, and it's easy to get lost in all of them. So, moving out of my home in Jacksonville and moving to Orlando in a rental, I decided to try something a little more different. I wanted to go with a camera that does local storage, and the solution I found after hours of research happens to be this Lorex Video Doorbell from the Fusion collection. Now, what's awesome about this doorbell is not only does it have local storage via an SD card, as advertised right here, but it also can be connected to a Lorex NVR unit that you have in your house. Now, this rental doesn't have one, but in my old house, I did have the Lorex NVR system, the Fusion NVR system. So it sucks that I decided to get this now and not when I had the NVR, but no worries, because like I said, you can use an SD card, and that's what attracted me most to this doorbell. That and the price. So let me tell you how much I paid for this thing. I got this doorbell for $127. Now, Lorex has come out with a 4K model, and that could be the reason. Well, actually, that is the reason why I got this so cheap, is because this is the 2K model, and they are trying to offload it for $149. But then I used Honey, and I got a $22 discount on it, which brings up the total to $127.50 with taxes, $135.79. Not a bad price for this doorbell. If I were to go the Google route, I would have spent at least $180 if I got their doorbell on a discount. If I had to pay full price, I would have paid $200. So this is by far cheaper and does local SD storage, which the Google did not. Let's go ahead and open this box and see what we get in it. Voila! We got this instruction manuals. We got the doorbell itself. Wiring kit, screws, drill bit for concrete, charge cable, a chime kit, and some mounting brackets. Oh wow, look at that. Lorex even throws in an SD card for you. 32 gig SD card. That is super cool. Nobody else does that. So, I mean, right off the box, this thing is ready to go with local storage already installed and everything. Another thing I liked about it is it has a light on the bottom here. With all that out the way, let's go ahead and install it.
Change don't change like it used to. Who runs the roost round here? The coop's gone clear. Got the heart from the bass to the snares, but the word is what's keeping them here. Word to my peers. The work don't start till the top think it's ready.
Alright, so we were going to do 2 weeks with this camera, or 1 week, but you know what? Let's jump into it. Just like with everything that we review on this channel, I went ahead and I created a pros and cons list. So let's go ahead and discuss everything that I liked about this camera. Number one, the installation was easy. The only problem I had was that I was being a little picky, and because this is a rental, I tried to use the pre-existing holes that existed with the previous video doorbell, but other than that, real simple to install. Number two, attractive design. This thing is not going to win any awards, but it is a video doorbell that's on par with the design of, like, you know, the Ring doorbells. The Google, I think, has the upper hand. Their Nest doorbells are actually really pretty, but, you know, this one is still pretty cool. Number three, useful gimmicks. When's the last time you've heard those two words put together? The LED on the bottom, you know, it's a fill light. It lights up the floor when motion is detected, and you really think nothing of it. You're like, oh yeah, it's like a flashlight, right? Actually, that's where you're wrong. It is actually very bright. Now, normally I would use the porch light because this this floor light is so bright, I don't need to use it anymore. It does exactly what it's supposed to do. I ended up liking this light a lot more than I thought I would. And the crazy thing is that I don't even have this light on full blast. I have it at a level 3, I think, and it goes all the way up to level 5. So imagine just how bright this light can get. The second thing is the LED ring around the button. It's customizable. Now, most video doorbells like Amazon and Google don't allow you to customize the LED ring around the button. For example, Google, it's white when it detects motion, it's blue when the button is pressed, and it's yellow when there's a connection error. I never understood that. So like if, let's say, the video doorbell is recording when it detects motion, why would you turn white? It's not going to scare anybody away. But with this doorbell, although it already has preset, you can customize it. So the way I customized it, it starts recording due to someone, right? It's going to blink red because you know what? A blinking red light has always meant that you're being recorded. So now when someone triggers my camera, it's going to automatically start flashing red, which means, yo, you on candid camera. I got you. Don't try anything stupid. It's a small little feature, but it goes a long way, especially for a tech nerd like myself. Number 4, person detection works super well despite no subscription. I honestly cannot tell the difference between this and the Google Nest. And you know what? 0 subscription fees. Gotta love it. Number 5, I mentioned this before, local recording. This is again a huge feature that us tech nerds love because we want full control over our video. We don't want them on someone else's server. That being said, if you're looking for a camera with cloud storage, this is not it. This only has 2 options. You can use the SD card or you can use an NVR unit if you already have one. Number 6, like I mentioned previously, it works with the Lorex NVR Fusion system. So if you already have one of those, this would be a great addition to your smart home security system. Number 7, this is a huge one. Record your own personal message to play back when someone rings the doorbell. I am already getting my money's worth with this feature. The first thing I did was pre-record a message for solicitors, and it goes like this.
Hey, not to be rude, but this is a rental, so we're not interested. No problem, thanks.
And you wouldn't believe how helpful having this message is because it sends solicitors away. Being able to record my own message and play it back on the doorbell, they can't tell whether I answered the doorbell or I didn't. They don't know. Those personal messages are by far my favorite feature of this camera, apart from the local recording. Number 8, the 2K on this camera is excellent. Now, of course, Lorex has a newer camera that's 4K that offers person detection and package detection, all without subscription, of course, because that's their thing. 0 subscription fees. But the 2K on this camera is phenomenal. I like it. There's nothing to complain about it. It's crisp. It's bright. If I want to nitpick, I would probably say that I don't like the tone it gives my skin. So it gives me like a yellowish tint. But, you know, I'm not going to be using this camera to record any YouTube videos. So it's fine. Whatever. I'm just using this for security. Number 9. Easy to navigate timeline. One thing I absolutely hated with the Google Nest is their vertical timeline. I disliked it. It was the worst timeline scrubbing I ever experienced on a security camera. I'm glad to see that Lorex adopted the same time scrubbing from their security cameras to this video doorbell. So thumbs up, Lorex. Like that. Number 10, again, events. Easy to navigate events. You just pull up the events and all of the alerts are right there. You can see a pre-recorded video of that person triggering the alerts, and they don't just give you a snippet. It's not 5 seconds, it's not 7 seconds, it's a full long video. That was my biggest complaint with a lot of the previous video doorbells, is that they only give you a snippet. So like you would see the person, but then that video would stop at the 7-second mark and you wouldn't be able to see what they did afterwards. Not with the Lorex camera. You can see the full picture of what that person does from beginning to end. Despite being local storage, it does not affect the playback of the video at all. Videos play back well, there's no lagging, there's no stutter, it just works. Number 12, Alexa supports two-way communication. That means that you can have a two-way communication with the person at your front door. Of course, you're not going to get the alert on Alexa when someone rings the doorbell, but if your doorbell rings, you can tell Alexa to show you my front door, and you can have a communication with the person at your front door.
This is dropping in on the Lorex Doorbell video feed using an echo show. Now the echo display won't be activated when they ring the doorbell, but if someone rings the doorbell and you hear your chime go off, you can ask Alexa to drop in on the video feed, and then you can start talking to the person at your front door.
And this is how the sound quality sounds using a echo show to talk to you on the Lorex Video Doorbell.
Number 13, selectable speed. So if you've got a long video that you're scrubbing through and you need to speed up the process, you can change the speed so the playback is faster, so you don't have to sit there for 5 minutes scrubbing through this video. A small feature that goes a long way. Number 14, night vision is clean. You can identify people who come to your front door with this camera with no issues. I even turned off all of my lights just to see how well this performed. There was no ghosting. It was excellent. Number 16, easy video export. Now you can't just tap on the file and export it to your camera roll. You actually have to record the video using the record button in the app, in the Lorex app. And then once you finish recording, then you can export that recording to your camera roll. So there is one extra step, but it still makes it pretty easy to grab the video that you want. Because sometimes, you know, in a 10-minute video, you're just looking for 5 seconds. So with the pros out the way, let's get into the cons. This is what I don't like about the camera. Number 1, in the app, setup failed 3 times. Now struggling to set up this camera with the app, I eventually started to read the manual and found out that that little cable that comes with the camera is actually to plug it in so you can set it up before you install it on the wall. Didn't know that. Would it have made a difference? I'm not sure. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I mean, I installed my Ring and the Google Nest and the Wise Video Doorbell. I installed all of these cameras the same exact way and never had a problem with them. So I don't think it would have helped much. But yeah, it failed 3 times before I eventually got it set up within the app. Number 2, ringing the doorbell doesn't trigger your Alexa or Google devices. It sucks, you know, but if you want that kind of feature, you got to either go with Ring if you have Alexa or Google Nest Doorbell if you have the Google. Number 3, there's an app bug where if I click on my video doorbell, it takes me straight to my events. I'm trying to get into live feed, not events. I know how to get into events. When I first installed the doorbell, like 4 times, it took me straight into an event when I would click on the camera live feed, but haven't had that issue since. Number 4, mic picks up a lot of noise. So there is a freeway right next to my house, and the camera does have noise suppression going on to where it eliminates the background noise. And it does a fairly good job. Instead of hearing the freeway full on, you hear the freeway every now and then going in and out, so it actually sounds like a monster breathing. Let's take a listen. But yeah, I mean, in terms of affecting someone talking, no, it doesn't. It's just that breathing noise does tend to get annoying. Number 5, Google support is terrible. Alexa is way better with supporting this Lorex Video Doorbell. When I try to get Google to show my doorbell, it stutters and chokes. I've tried 2 different Google Nest displays, and both of them struggled and choked. And this is not something that just has to do with Lorex. I mean, my Wise Cam, Google does the same thing with those Wise Cams. Sometimes it'll show. Most time, it would choke. So disappointed. Not in Lorex though. More with Google. Number 6. This camera has low frame rate compared to like the Google doorbell that I previously had. If I were to guess, I would say the frame rate is roughly below 20 frames per second. It's not as smooth. It's still usable. The footage that you get from it is very usable in identifying who wronged you, who messed up your front door, who robbed you, whatever. And number 7, the wide angle is not that great. They corrected this with the 4K model, But with this model, you know, it is zoomed in a little too much, so you don't get the full picture. Like for example, with the Google Nest, here you can see the entire porch area. With this camera, you cannot. You just see a small section of the floor, and that's it. It's still usable footage, but most people like to see the entire porch area when they install this doorbell. So if you're looking for a wider angle, I would go with the 4K model that they just released. And there you go. That's it for the Lorex Video Doorbell review. I really like this product and I highly recommend that you pick it up. If you want a little more features like the package detection, a wider angle, then I would go with the 4K model. Know that you're going to pay a little more for that 4K model because it does start at $199. I'm so surprised not a lot of people know about this doorbell. Just driving in my neighborhood alone, we are dominated with the Ring doorbells, with Google coming in second. Not a lot of people have doorbells like from Lorex and Wise and whatnot. And I don't understand why, because these doorbells are great, if not better, than the doorbells from Ring and Google. Hope you found this video helpful. Be sure to give me thumbs up if you did. Like, subscribe, comment. My name is Z, and I really hope to catch you in the next one. Hasta luego, muchachos. Peace.
I know